Alright guys, finally got a non-rainy day, I should say. Sun ain't exactly out, but a little overcast. People from Seattle can relate, so it's a good day to get stuff done. So now we're on to our clutch springs right here. Now here's the tool. Okay, comes with this piece. You can see it kind of has these two openings here, and then these slots here will be for to set the screws to mount the springs. You also have this dowel rod. Now it's kind of a weird looking puzzle, but keep in mind, and the manual really doesn't explain it too well in my opinion, so it's a combination of reading the manual and just kind of piecing this together. Now keep in mind, your plunger piece here, when it's all said and done, this is supposed to go in flush like so, okay? And then per the manual you should be able to just grab this and take it out with ease, so there's virtually no pressure or torque on this piece right here. So when it's all said and done, all four springs have to be lined up with this hole right here that your clutch nut is mounted to. So you got all these different forces, torque, angles, whatever. It has to line up, push down evenly, and line up with this. So ultimately that comes in flush like that. And then it also matches up to where this pushes into the center as well. So with that said, that's a whole lot of, and then your bolts here are only 9 Newton meters, which 9 Newton meters is literally like a flick of the wrist. It's not much at all. So you got all these pressures going all over, and you got to line up to the center. So with that said, that's where this tool comes in. Now once again, there must be different sizes within different years. I don't know, you'll just have to see. But on your dowel here, there's two different sizes. You got 13 millimeter, and then 14 millimeter. So basically first thing you want to do is just size this up, see which one fits flush into that mount. Okay, with mine it looks like it's the 13 millimeter. I don't think the number's not too important. Whichever one mounts right for your bike is the one you want to go with. So with that said, we need the clutch alignment tool. We got our green springs for some nice heavy action. The bearing, which the bearing plate is going to of course go out like that with the bevel pieces facing out. The rod and the 4 bolts. And the 4 bolts, they're going to torque down to 9 Newton meters. So that said, I got for quick, I like to use a T, but your bolts are 10 millimeters. Nice thing is bolts for the tool and OEM bolts for the mount themselves are 10 meters. So we're ready to go. So I'm going to try to show this to you real quick. And we got our torque wrench. So obviously put your springs on. And get our springs on real quick. Alright. Now you want to remember, once again, before it gets all mounted in, which end flushes the best for your bike, and that's the end you want. So for me, this is 13 millimeter. So once I get this in, I'm going in 13 millimeter first. And it's basically just like a puzzle. I'm going like that. So I'm going to set that off to the side. Now on this, you can see it's kind of like a off-cambered type of cut, so that it leaves the other two exposed so you can get to them. So we're gonna pop the two in this way. Also, one thing I forgot to mention. You can see these little slots here. There's one here and one on the opposite side. These are going to kind of just slide right in, these little jigs within the wheel, so that it just locks in and you have a complete lock from all angles and a constant even push down onto this. So with that, you just kind of take everything you need, puzzle it in so that it fits. Okay, like so. Now we just want the threads to catch for right now. So, okay, the thread's caught on that one. And the threads, okay, so now the thread's caught. Okay, now this end that we figured out first, so what size you need. For me it's 13 millimeter. I'm gonna go in through here, and I know you can't really see it now on your camera. And that's gonna center it. Actually, son, I just found out there's such a size difference. Use them both to wiggle it into place. And I know you can't see on the camera, but if you're looking down here right now, you'll see when it locks in and centers on you. Okay, so that centers on me. So I'm gonna, now keep in mind, these are only in by a couple threads, so I haven't even tightened anything down yet. So now I'm gonna slowly start bringing it in. Want to bring, tighten down evenly. Now you're not going to tighten all these all the way down. You're just going to bring it in and get your line. Now the nice thing about a garage, when you drop it on the floor, you don't have to freak out about dirt and pebbles and grass, and especially when you're inside the engine. Have I ever mentioned I wanted a damn garage? Okay, so we're good. We got constant, even pressure, and we're centered on it. So just tighten this down a little bit more. Just keep it holding. We're good. Okay, so now we're going to take our OEM bolts and go in on the exposed sides. Now on this, you just go when you feel it grab. Now you're actually going to start putting some pressure on the plates. Okay, once you get that to pressure, get your dowel in there. Make sure everything's staying into center. And then just kind of just eyeball. I mean, it don't have to be exactly identically the same on each side, but you do want to bring each corner in together. Just don't go one corner and then the other. Just keep alternating it. And then when you do reach it, you're gonna feel just a little just stop. As soon as you feel that little jar and the bolt stops, just stop right there. Because like I said before, 9 Newton meters is nothing. So it's not so much the pressure on these bolts, but the surface pressure that holds this. So this is where you just kind of develop, some feel in your hand. because like I said, do not crank on this. You don't have to, and if you crank on it, you're just going to cause yourself problems. And as you see, obviously, as we go in more, this just loosens out. But we're centered, so we're good on that, hopefully. Just keep alternating. Usually I got tunes going, but I got you guys watching on, so I'm not sure if anybody out there Black Label Society fan. I've been listening to them quite a bit lately. Kind of like Zach. Anyways. But I just got it. I don't know if you could recognize that on the camera, but I mean that's it. That stopped. And it's there. Like I said, it's almost like a click. As soon as you just feel the contact, just stop. Because I bet you I won't even get a flick of a turn on my torque wrench for 9 Newton meters, and I'll already be there. So this tool's done, but saved us a lot of headaches. You know, lining these up, making it flat and centered, so you got all these different angles to get in there. So we got torque wrench, we go to 9, and then just, I don't know, I always hear people talk, you know, do you torque this, do you torque that, that's not an important bolt, this is an important bolt. I mean, this thing cost me like $200. You know, I'm gonna use it, so I just torque about damn near everything. So anyway, so we just go click, we're already there. Okay, now for the big test. If we did this right, our little plunger thingamajig here should go straight in, and we shouldn't have issues. And there you go. Okay. So like I said, now we got these two set. Go back to my T. Of course, as I already said, so the last 2 bolts you can kind of just go a little quicker on. Boom, right there. Once again, just a real simple stop. You can tell I'm just doing it one finger. And boom, stop. And then to get the click on the torque wrench is just nothing. I'm foot stomping this just so nobody just, you know, rips out a bolt, because these are real easy to do. That's it, man. Now the only thing I do, of course, we got this. Oops. That was an earthquake. I know Japan's famous for them. That was my leg. That just sits right in. Nice and smooth and flush like it should. So, of course, the only other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and smother this up in oil and the bearings in here, and then that's it. We got a clutch spring set. Really is that easy. So, alright guys, next will be my valve clearance checks. Then I'm running the cable, and then covers are going to start going on. So the next clutch video will be putting the swing arm and the pin on the other side of the casing that's going to match up to this, and then bolting the casing on. So, alright. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Hope you get something out of it. definitely work on your own bikes. All right, later.